You ready?
Oh.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Welcome to...
Pancakes on a Wednesday. Getting better.
Yeah.
Getting better.
Sounds good.
So, today's topic. Last time we talked about faith over fear, and I felt like there's a lot of left out on that. So, we started to follow up. So, in our relationship, one of us, not going to say who, likes to jump without a parachute. And although I love it, and I love that she is willing to do anything, and when she puts her mind to something, she is a force to be reckoned with. But sometimes she jumps without a parachute. And I like to jump with a parachute. So today we're going to talk about parachutes. Not your literal parachute, but your figurative parachute. And you can jump at any time.
This is your thing. I don't know much about parachutes.
No, you know about all of this. This is all you're doing.
Yeah.
It's about, our last topic was faith over fear and putting it out there that, you can't just put the intention out there. You kind of have to do work, right? You have to do the work.
Well, you have to do a ton of work. I was actually talking to my dad this morning about some business stuff we're talking about. And, in life, I think we all can agree that you're never like at your end game. We're always, we're ever expanding. We're always learning. And I love learning. I've loved to do business. My dad taught me when I was a kid. And I mean, like a kid, I was answering phones for him and going to, he was a home builder, and he built really big mansion homes, and he had actually, manifested the ranch that I grew up on with the same kind of concepts that we're talking about. He just didn't know he was doing it. And he does not jump like I do. He has got a double quilted parachute like crazy, but he is bold. So I couldn't quite like put it all together because he's like Corey and I put together. I've got these manifesting gifts. You've got the numbers and the
analytical mind
and the things that I don't want to have. Oh my gosh, analytical mind. Analytical mind. That just
it's a blessing and a curse.
A blessing and a curse. And so, so is, I guess, it all. And so, I don't think my dad even realizes his power, but
he doesn't. He talks about it all the time.
I know, it's so silly. Like,
not that he talks about his gift. He talks about how he doesn't
have
it all the time.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if he knew.
But then you get him on a topic. And he's like, boom.
Yeah.
Nuts and bolts right there.
Yeah.
And you're like, Opa, like, bro.
What the heck? Oh my gosh. He's done that though with like everything. Like, well, I don't really know how to do it. And it's like, put it in front of him and say, well, can you fix this? Oh yeah. Or can you do this? Or can you create this? Or, what about that? And he can turn, dollars into millions. Like legit. It's so funny. And he's done it so many times. Yeah. Like he's not someone, anyways. So I was talking to him this morning, and he said, he was just giving me some really good business advice, some how to like form my brain and my mind in an analytical format, kind of, but the way my brain works. So, it just made a lot of sense. And I was telling Corey, like, this is how we need to move forward, because finally, like my dad is, and Corey, well, my dad is teaching me and Corey just has it built in him, but my dad is teaching me a way to create the parachute, like sew it together before you jump, but you fucking better jump. But you can, like, I'm a jumper, and then Corey's. I think we talked about that in a couple episodes ago.
Behind you, and
I'm like flying. I'm like, this is so good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm putting on your parachute.
Yeah, he's back there sweating, we're dropping, and I think it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. You're sitting there having fun, and I'm like having heart attacks. Like,
yeah, and I'm like, you loving this, babe?
Fucking sit still for 30 seconds. I just gotta put this thing on you.
Yeah, and that's why I look at him, and he's like, yeah, I'm having so much fun.
Yeah, it takes a minute to have fun because you like I gotta make sure that
all's good.
You have your parachute on.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden a wrench shows up and you're like, parachute's on. We're good.
Yeah. And then we land gently
it's like whoosh.
In the pasture instead of splatting on the driveway.
Splatting on the driveway. Yeah. Yeah. So my dad is teaching me these other aspects of it. So really the three of us can work to create a lot of things that we're excited to venture into, and it's a lot of different avenues of ideas that we have, and you cannot do that. You cannot, first of all, it's great to build your empire with multiple sources of income, but you don't want to dabble here and dabble here. You want to create here, you want to create there, you want to create there, and it all is kind of combined together.
Yeah. It's kind of like multitasking. Like you can't really truly multitask. Like I mean, that was
not sufficiently.
Yeah, that was like a big thing in the late 90s and early 2000s with the Oprah wave and everything. Multitasking is like they've actually done a lot of research on multitasking and found that your brain isn't capable of actually what they consider multitasking. It's like you need to give each thing its own independent thought process, and it's the same for life, same for business, same for relationship. If your fingers in several different cookie pots, then you're just getting crumbles.
Yeah.
But if you just work on one cookie jar at a time, you focus, right? You could eat all the cookies.
And you get the best cookie imaginable because you focused on that cookie.
Right.
Interesting how you'd use cookies as an example.
I mean, I could have used ice cream or popcorn.
Or something that wasn't food related. There's that.
Well, I mean.
He's a foodie.
I am a foodie. That's why I work out so hard.
No, it's not, because you love working out.
I do love working out. It's just so awesome.
It is. It's just the awesomest.
It's just so awesomest. Fuck, I love working out, though.
We're not talking about it. We can talk about that.
We'll talk about that later.
Health and fitness.
Health and fitness is an episode.
By Corey.
It's all me. I'm just going to take my shirt off and do push-ups.
Yeah, that sounds like lame.
Okay. Back to parachutes.
That'll be the toxic men.
Yeah, that'll be the toxic masculinity episode.
Oh, jeez.
But anyway, like you need to focus, like Samantha was saying, is right. You need to have what you shared that
plan.
Meme. Yeah, what? You shared that meme with me that your multiple rivers of income flow to be one giant river or something.
I don't remember, but it's something I would say or think.
Yeah, but you need to have a plan, right? And that's your parachute. Like. The parachute isn't like if this doesn't work out, pull your parachute. And the parachute is the foundation. It's the plan, right? Because if you jump out of the airplane and you have no fucking plan on how to land, you're learning in progress. Fucking sucks.
And there was a timeline.
It can be good, but it sucks.
Right. And there was a timeline, and I mean like universally in the world where that was how people were meant to learn, but we're not in that anymore, and we're moving into a different timeline.
Well, there's so much information out there for us to be that.
Yeah, it's
so easy to educate yourself.
It is. It so is, and so we're moving into this timeline of work that you love. Work smarter, not harder. So you're always doing the work. You're always doing something, and if we're going to sit here and we're going to build an empire, we're going to work at the foundation, the structure, the plan of action, not to be safe and, oh, we're not going to fail or fall or this or that. It's so when we do jump, we're moving forward.
Right.
We're moving forward. Like, we're not going to. I spent a lot of time in my life jumping, and I never splatted, but there's a lot of falling and there's a lot of lessons learned, and then you got to climb back up the hill, and then you got to jump again, and it's like, no. This time we're going to jump, we're going to start coasting, and we're going to enjoy this coast, and we're going to expand, and we're going to see everything that there is to see and create the empire through a properly placed parachute. Not a fear-based parachute, a enhancing parachute, really.
Yeah. Like it's your fundamentals, right? It's like it's not even like a parachute. It's like a bag full of shit that needs to get done.
Oh.
Not like shit.
That was such a bad analogy.
I don't know. I'm running out of them. Sorry. It's been a long day. I'm not on fire right now.
And so, no, I'm not on fire
No.
right now. Yeah, you are. You're good. But you were saying it's more of like a bag of goodies.
It's your knowledge,
stuff,
it's your cookie bag.
Well, and you're not. It's your cookie bag. It's your cookie bag, honey.
It's my cookie. It's got all the little nuggets.
It's got all his little nuggets. Yeah, it's not gold nuggets. It's cookies.
It's not golden nuggets. It's cookies.
So for you, it's cookies.
But they're scrumptious.
Wait, so you take those, that's what you just said, knowledge. Yeah. So knowledge is what you learn from a book and or books, or, that's knowledge. And we need that to get from being, a youthful mind that doesn't know much to being someone who has the tools, right, to move forward. Knowledge gives you tools. Wisdom is experience. And when you reach a certain point,
wisdom is all those times you jumped out of the airplane without a parachute.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I see where you're going with that. I like that.
You like it?
Sorry, I stole your thunder because I got super excited. I was like, she's going to say wisdom. Watch.
Okay. It's okay.
So,
you added exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
But it is. It truly is. There's nothing that can replace wisdom and that journey. And when you guys are sitting there, we've all done it. I mean, all of us. I'm thinking of one friend right now who took a major leap, and it might feel like she leapt without a parachute, but really she fucking put a stop to a really toxic habit. And I don't mean like it was a life. Repeating the same habit that was draining her, working for whether it was this company or that company, it all made her feel the same way. She put a stop to it. Now she can build her parachute and jump in a really cool way, and she doesn't know where she's going right now, and that's okay. That's part of the fun part, because in those moments of not knowing, sometimes you feel really numb inside. You might feel scared. We talked about not having fear last time. You can be scared without having to be fearful. We don't need to be fearful. And so I know she's scared, but she's still like, I did this and I'm doing this and I'm going to keep going. And now that's her stitching together a new way, which is a parachute that's going to take her. And what are those hang glider thingies?
Like the squirrel suits?
I was thinking of a thing that flies above you and you like jump off the cliff and then you fly.
Glider.
So maybe it's more like a hang glider that we're building rather than a parachute.
Or a squirrel suit.
A squirrel suit.
Squirrel suit.
Squirrel
It's
suit.
got the wings. I think it's called a wingsuit, actually.
Okay, so
That's what I'm doing. Fuck yeah.
okay, so your wingsuit, whatever is your preference, hang gliding, wingsuiting with cookies, like maybe you're flying to your cookies.
Yeah.
Whatever is your motivating factor. But the thing is, you do have to jump. You have got to jump. The leap of faith is...
It's a real thing, ladies and gentlemen.
I remember,
it's a real thing.
ladies and gentlemen, I remember being out of it was the worst relationship like anybody has ever had, ever. It was horrible. Oh, fine. Yours was pretty shitty. But mine was bad. It was bad. And we were no longer together, thank God. And for me to get out of that, I actually had to get all my stuff packed up and moved to my dad's house in this tiny little room. And I was so exhausted. I left my house that I loved and all my stuff and just got out of there to get away from him, right? And I remember sitting there. I was so drained and broken because of that type of scenario. Those of us that have been through it, and I know there's many, it's so beyond draining. And I sat there and I said to myself, how the fuck do I get out of this, oh gosh, low energy? I wasn't depressed and sad. It's just, you feel like you're starting back at ground zero. And I said, all right, my leap of faith is letting go. I will never forget it. I was sitting on the bed wondering what the fuck I was doing with my life in here. And I said, my leap of faith is letting go. And I meant it so deeply and so passionately. And I definitely leaped. I don't know if I had a parachute or what you would consider that to be. But man, when I said that,
I think you always have a parachute. It's just whether or not it works, you know?
For sure. I guess that's why I always jumped, but I never splattered.
Even though you take the leap of faith, I mean, I know I'm saying like never jump without a parachute, but I think we always try to jump with one. You know, people who take the leaps of faith constantly, they have their parachute. It's just sometimes it doesn't work.
What it probably is you jump because it always works out, does it not? It always works out.
Yeah, I mean, you get somewhere.
It always works out.
You get somewhere.
The thing is at some point you got to pull your own thingy, your own cord. And
also, like you said,
can I finish that really quick so I don't forget? Yeah. Because this is a big deal for people, because I think we're always letting God in the universe pull that cord at the very last second when you're like fucking right here, here's the ground, and then you go because God's always going to catch you. Yeah. But we got to learn to do it on our own, and then you don't have to plummet down and then go like that. You can be like, yo, bro, this is cool. Glide. I'm just going to go have some fun. And it can even, you'll go rise higher with the support of the universe.
And I think that's where you said that, so there's knowledge and then there's wisdom, right? Knowledge is knowing, hey, I need to jump, but I got to have a parachute. I got to have some kind of idea. And then the wisdom is like, all those times that you jump, you're like, I kind of have to have an idea. And that wisdom is like, hey, fuckface, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Before you jump out of this plane, line your shit up and then go for a cruise instead of dropping, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wrote down stuff.
Okay, you read. He's so cute. Hold on. Let me.
I wrote down. I got notes.
We're going to do an opera song?
Yes.
A song to sing for you?
So planning, when we're talking about planning, we talk about building that foundation. I never make a plan B. I always have a plan, and then there's variations of that plan. But like we were talking about earlier, faith over fear and manifesting the time before that, is if you put together an entire separate plan B, plan C, plan D, through all the way to Z, right? You make all these plans, and they all are different plans. What you're putting out there is that you believe that the plan before that is going to fail. Mm-hmm. So that's what I like to do. Is I have my plan and I work my plan till it doesn't work, and then I lateral over and I make changes in the plan.
Supporting factors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't make a plan B because that just means that I believe plan A won't work. That
has doubt. If you have doubt in things, just forget about it.
But plan A might not work. But your plan A. Okay. Sorry. Scene 1, take 2. Note to self: turn the camera off because it doesn't charge when it's on.
Yeah.
See?
Battery died.
No plan B.
Just rolling with the punches.
Just keep going.
Hey, that's a perfect example.
Yeah, right. Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Instead of freaking out and finishing it on the phone or something, took a break. I went and stirred up the fire, got it roaring again. Now I'm out of breath.
Took care of some chickies.
Took
Well,
care of
that's
some
because you
chickies.
were helping Bianca with the horse.
Yeah, I'm doing all the things.
And he's allergic to horses, but he continues to ride them and care for them and love
Yeah.
them.
Well, I mean, it only took 2 years for me to not be allergic to Batman.
Yeah.
So I got another 18 months with the horses.
Yeah. And
Fight
The
fire with
dogs.
fire.
the dogs, he's also allergic to
Yeah,
dogs.
I'm also allergic to dogs
We have 6
and,
of them.
and hay and
And,
grass and pollen. All the things that are on the ranch.
Yeah. All
I'm
the
allergic
things I
to.
love.
But you don't deviate from the fucking plan.
But
You
also,
make variations.
and we'll see what happens. But we do have we're moving ahead with some holistic stuff that
Eastern medicine, man.
we've heard about helping allergies. So we'll see, and we'll update on that as it goes.
Yeah. But, I mean, long story short, don't jump without a parachute.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good time. It's a good timeline. Good. Everything like in life with the internet and everything at our disposal to learn,
Yeah,
do, and
it's-
create whatever we want to.
It takes more effort to blindly jump into something with no information at all in today's age.
Yeah, because it might not take effort in the jumping. It is going to destroy you, and then you're gonna feel like shit.
Like if you want to do something, you have to actively not look it up in order to not want to do it.
Yeah,
Because like if you're like, oh, even your phone will talk to you like, hey, we want to start a podcast, and then we'll start getting random ads on,
Yeah.
tutorials
Creepy.
on how to start a podcast or
Creepy
products and
iTunes.
how to, here's your podcast starter kit and all this other shit. Like it's harder to ignore all that stuff than it is to be like, I want to start a podcast. All right, let me build my foundation. Let me get an understanding. What's the least amount of investment I can make, but have high quality stuff, and to get the ball rolling.
and yeah, and your return doesn't have to be exponential. And I think that's where so many people go wrong. Is they're like, I'm just going to create this business, and by next month I'll be making 10
Their
grand.
expectations are way too high.
Yeah, and it's also done for the wrong reasons. Like,
Yeah. If your main driver is like, I just want to make money,
yeah,
dude, you're going to have a hard time. I mean, there's a lot of very, very wealthy people in this world. And I mean, there's new wealthy people every single day. I mean, it's easy to create wealth. But I'd venture to say most of those people have other reasons.
And-
Their reason isn't the money. Their reason is maybe they grew up poor, right? Maybe they want to provide for their family. Maybe they fucking hate their job and all their friends are doing something else and they're like, fuck it. I'm gonna put on my parachute and I'm jumping.
or maybe it's just a game. Maybe it's a
Or
fun game.
maybe it's a game to them. They're like, I just want to see how well I could do.
That's where I feel like I'm so happy with minimal that it's a game, and it's not going to be.
But if your feelings don't get hurt, you can have a lot of fun in the game.
Can I say too? I'm happy with minimal and simple, but I do not do mediocre for anything with anything.
No, because
Never.
even when we do simple, and that's pretty extraordinary.
Yeah, it's all
'Cause, like,
extraordinary.
I mean, we kinda live-
extraordinarily simple.
We live an extraordinary life right now, but like we live pretty simple. You know?
Yeah, we live super.
We
simple,
wake
I
up,
believe.
we play with the dogs, we play with the horses, we make podcasts,
and then we play with the horses.
and then we play with the
We
horses.
play with the dogs.
Then we play with the chickies.
And Bodie's there all the time. Yeah, chickies.
But we make it extraordinary. We make it a family affair, and we make it count. We make every second count.
Like my silly goal was to make chickens like me, and so I've been loving my chickie babies, and they do. They're so
Yeah, they
cute.
don't run.
No,
They let me grab them.
one of them was out of the pen. We put him up with the big chickens while they're growing up, and she was out, and she just stood there and waited for me to come get her. It's so cute. Goals,
Hashtag chickie goals.
chickie goals. Ranch goals. Shoot, I was gonna say something. I forgot.
Figure it out.
Oh, yeah. I was listening to Sean Whalen today, and he was saying the difference between being rich and wealthy. And at first, he was like, I don't know, like if I could even say the difference between being rich and wealthy. And then he went into this great example of being rich basically is like you're somehow came into a ton of money and you have a lot of money and you're pissing it away, or like a pro athlete who goes to gets drafted and then they have a ton of money. That's rich. That's being rich. Wealth is taking whatever number. Actually, wealth is taking a smaller number and then expanding it into investments and opportunities that generate an income continually.
Like the old adage is make money work for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So every single thing that we put our money into, even fun stuff that we do, like typically, and I get this from my dad.
So but like you can't define money as that currency, right? Like that paper money, everything is energy, right?
Right.
And it's like time is energy. Time is money. Money is time.
Yeah.
All these things, all the whatever, the quips and the buzzwords, but everything that you do is seconds of your life, right? And what are you willing to do with those seconds of your life to gain something?
Yeah.
Like you can't just piss them away. If you're pissing your seconds away, you're pissing your money away, you're pissing your time away, you're pissing your life away.
Right. And creating, we bought this ranch and as we
didn't buy this ranch. We bought this house and made this ranch.
True. Yes, you're very, very, yeah. That's actually going along with my point is there's more that's coming, but we bought this house and it was already generating an income from what we have within it.
Yeah.
And it's not about the money or, we need this or that. It's how can we expand this and make it work for us? We bought a side-by-side for the campground and now we're starting a rental business. Yeah. So with our toys, we're expanding that. And that's the mindset of how can you make, our personal one at home is for us. And of course, by all means, let's keep some things that are just for us. But for the most part, it's a game. Everything's a game. How can we create something from most things, most all of it in some form? Maybe it's even a garden, creating, food out of dirt. Like that's this land is going to feed us. We have a greenhouse. That was one of my prereqs of what I wanted.
Boxes.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful greenhouse and there's a beautiful space outside to do an outdoor and indoor growing vegetables and the most epic garden. So, anyways, that's just a part of all of it. Like, how can you make, and don't put money on a pedestal. Like, we need to, refer back to that a few times. Everybody, oh my gosh, or not everybody. There's a lot of us that are expanding, but most people put money on a pedestal. How much can I do with how much money that I have? And how much will my money allow me to, how many experiences will my money allow me to travel to or go to, or, money is their ruler and that's not how it's supposed to be. Like if you want to be a traveler and travel all the time, if you want to be at home and be a stay-at-home mom, but create from there, if you want to be a dad, and partner up with your wife and do things where you own a ranch or own a ranch and travel. You create the life and then the money shows up and the money delivers support so you can experience things on a greater level, because I don't want to go camping in a tent. And a lot of people absolutely love camping in a tent or in a van. And I think van life, if I was single, I think I said it before, I'd like be a trucker or get a van and live out of a van. It would be so cool. But my thought process on that is the great open roads, like just driving and traveling. But since I'm not a single woman doing that, I have a family and we have dogs and we have kids and, I don't want a small setup and I don't want a small kitchen. We want comfortable. So we manifested that and we created a life, and we may even bring our trailer on site and generate an income with that. That's and ended up what happening with our first trailer is we bought it for us to travel, but then we were leaving it at the campground and it was generating an income at the campground. We're like, well, why would we take it from there when we can buy something that's twice the size and use that money that we're making from the campground there to pay for the bigger trailer? And so it all begins to expand. And sometimes we think, maybe we'll rent out our trailer and just take trips, Airbnb trips. So everything can be complimentary. And that's a part of, taking the leap of faith, taking the jump with the parachute with a plan, with a solid knowing of the idea of where you want to fly. But it's okay if you go left and right, but you're not going to drop down and plummet.
It's like one of those coloring maps that you get at the restaurant, right? Like you got a starting point, you got an ending point, and they're like, there's a spaghetti mess of travel in between beginning and finish. But all those twists and turns are all lessons of what not to do. Or what not to do. Some of them are what not to do, for sure. And then some of them... Some people have less curves in theirs because some of them are pretty savvy.
Some of them are preparing you. It's not about being a struggle as well. Like those turns, how much have we learned since the Nova Ridge days? Had we just jumped right into owning a ranch, it could have been overwhelming.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But instead, it's been...
Yeah, because I definitely wasn't ready.
No.
I was a city boy through and through.
Yeah.
It took some time. It took a couple trips to the campground and some simple living. Not that I need stuff. I don't need stuff.
But you weren't familiar with. I grew up.
Yeah, and I'm pretty fucking handy.
You grew up in a trailer. I grew up traveling in a trailer.
Fucking rude.
I grew up road tripping.
I mean, if we wanted to, we could have pulled the bricks out from the wheels and
started driving. Yeah.
We'd have had to split the trailer because, we were fancy. We lived in a double wide. So
that would have
we'd have had to have 2 trucks.
That would have been weird.
Yeah.
I think we made some good points there. Hopefully it was well received. Guess it doesn't really give.
Yeah, no, I don't really give a fuck. I mean, we're just doing this for us. We just want to talk. We want to hear ourselves on playback.
Fun. I don't listen. I don't re-listen.
I don't either. I mean, once we put it out there, I put it. It's just like your intentions. You put it out there, you walk away.
Yeah. I don't re-listen, but I do enjoy. I just like doing this.
Yeah, but and our goal is it doesn't matter about who listens. It's if we could reach one person. One person.
We said that in the beginning. Maybe that one person is us.
Yeah. If I'm reaching you and you're reaching me, it helps our connection, and we're doing what we wanted.
I think it does. That's what I mean. Like I like to talk with him. I love connecting with him through communication. He's not always the best at communicating, but when he's put in a this kind of position, it lights his fire. So we both are getting what we enjoy, what we makes our soul thrive. And
this is our therapy.
It is. It is.
And everybody listening is our therapist.
We are therapizing
except
each
we're not
other.
Fucking paying you.
Yeah, we're paying you in shits and giggles, and that's about it.
That's what we're paying you. Shits and giggles.
Shits and giggles.
If you want your friends to get paid in shits and giggles,
share.
Pay it forward. That was like a slam dunk.
God, we're so good at this.
We're getting good.
Air 5.
Okay. All right. You ready? All right. Well, thanks for listening. If you like it, pay it forward. If you don't, punish somebody. Make them listen. Either way, if you get something out of it, cool. If you don't, cool.
Cool. I think he will, though. Come on. Let's be honest.
Till next
This is some
time.
good shit.
Thanks for listening. Peace out. A-Town down. We're going to get a different send-off. Bodie started that, and
We will.
yeah.
Next episode, Bodie started it for the first 5. The easing us
First
into.
5. Oh, this is number 5.
Yeah.
No, it's number 6. We shot number 5.
Oh,
5 was Faith Over Fear.
okay. Whatever. Number 6.
Whatever.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Peace out.